My name is Andre Shore, and I work in the machine learning aspect of the script. I am a senior in computer science with a focus on machine intelligence, and during my time at Purdue, I've taken numerous courses surrounding climate change and agriculture.
My name is Brendan Rylander, and I did the audio for the video. Being an applied statistics major and a junior here at Purdue, I've had the chance to analyze vertical farming from a statistical lens, which has showed that there is a growing issue pertaining to our current use of resources.
My name is Gabrielle Rumpf. My major is health and disease, and I'm currently a part of a research lab at Purdue that closely studies public health. In this project, I mainly focused on creating and editing the video.
My name is Garrett Unger, and I am a senior majoring in biology. I was a legislative intern for the 2022 Indiana General Assembly, where I served on the Senate's Agricultural and Environmental Affairs Committees, and in this project, I contributed to the research and scripts portions of this topic.
Hey, my name is Shubham Srivastav. I'm a junior studying in CS and applied mathematics, and this summer I interned with PepsiCo. And with my experience there, I realized that with such a big food and beverage company, there's a shortage in supply chain, leading the company to taking alternative steps in their productions. And relating to this presentation, I did contribute in creating our script. And now moving on with our presentation, with the aging of our planet Earth, we are encountering a plethora of unprecedented global challenges relating to global famine, food storage, supply chain issues, and depletion of energy. Because of this, it is imperative to begin adjusting our farming system towards vertical farming methods in order to become more energy efficient and create a sustainable method of farming for the future.
Vertical farming is the agricultural process in which crops are grown on top of each other rather than in traditional horizontal rows. Instead of sunlight and rain, vertical farms use LED lighting and controlled growing and nutritional systems. Growing vertically allows for conservation in space, resulting in a higher crop yield per square foot of land use. There are numerous advantages for utilizing vertical farming, including higher production in a much smaller area, shorter growing times, lower water use, fresh produce grown much closer to where it's eaten, and, as Aero Farm executives say, improved food taste.
Vertical farming allows food production facilities to be built close to population centers rather than in rural areas. Sowing vegetables and fruit in stacked planters in underground complexes on top of buildings or even in high-rise facilities means food production can expand upwards rather than outwards. We adapt this video for all the audiences that are concerned with agricultural farming and are trying to increase their sustainability in food production within our environment.
Reducing energy consumption is the primary concern of any vertical farm that seeks to mitigate its environmental impact and cut back on its production cost. Vertical farms can access renewable energy either directly from their local energy suppliers or by installing solar panels on their rooftops to produce their own clean energy. Another major concern for vertical farming is the proper disposal of faulty or broken farming equipment. Currently, out-of-service equipment typically ends up in landfill sites, where it poses a serious threat of soil and water contamination. However, introducing a circular economy system between equipment manufacturer companies and vertical farming could solve this problem.
And the scientific communication principle that we chose was a quasi-scientific approach in our video. We chose this approach because a quasi-scientific explanation allows for more complex structures to be explained more easily in a more understandable manner.
About 70% of the world is covered by water, but only 2.5% of it is fresh. Only 1% of fresh water is easily accessible, and agriculture consumes 70% of it globally. This irresponsible use of one of Earth's most vital resources is one of the reasons that scientists and engineers from across the globe are pushing for vertical farming. As cited by a 2022 article by the World Economic Forum's senior writer, Victoria Masterson, vertical farming is an agricultural process in which crops are grown on top of each other, rather than in traditional horizontal rows. Growing vertically allows for conservation of space, resulting in a high crop yield per square foot of land used. These farms are most often located indoors, such as a warehouse, where we have the ability to control the environmental conditions for plants to succeed. Although this farming technique is at the forefront of both environmental and agricultural enhancement, This practice has been utilized for thousands of years, dating back to the ancient Babylonian Empire. Unlike traditional horizontal farming, vertical farms place rows of crops on top of each other in what are called stacks. These stacks use no soil to grow plants, which means that farmers rely on hydroponically, aeroponically, or even aquaponically techniques to yield crops. Many vertical farms also don't use sunlight, but rather energy-efficient LED lights. This means that foods and other crops are no longer determined by seasonal variations in temperature and sunlight, allowing us to grow crops year-round. In the last decade, there have been immense scientific breakthroughs thanks to the field of machine learning. Machine learning has been utilized in agriculture by determining optimal growth conditions, placement, and resources for various crops. By analyzing environmental data through technologies, such as IoT sensors and images, scientists are able to better determine the quality and quantity of plant yield. As cited in a 2022 study by Mokhtar et al., machine learning methods have been shown to be able to predict the lettuce yield by analyzing various parameters of lettuce, such as leaf number, water consumption, and stem length. This technology has potential to optimize vertical farming by analyzing optimal growth conditions for a variety of crops. As cited in a 2022 study by Elena Popkova, thanks to machine learning, vertical farming can be implemented in areas that may not have the best climate, increase crop yield, and even optimize the nutritional value of food. Through the optimizations provided by machine learning and crop yield, vertical farming is able to tackle the growing issue of global hunger and climate change. This next frontier of farming boasts some important advantages by allowing farmers to produce more output, use fewer resources, and reduce transportation by locating operations closer to the point of consumption. By uniting the food system of seed breeders, technology companies, utilities, farms, distributors, grocers, and the broader ecosystem through innovation and collaboration, vertical farming will be the cornerstone of scaling for growth for future generations.
And in conclusion, vertical farming is a necessary change that will be implemented in the near future. Utilizing vertical farming will help us combat pressing issues such as food shortages, wasteful energy consumption, and overpopulation. As the global population continues to rise, it is becoming more pertinent than ever to transition towards vertical farming for the betterment and satisfaction of future generations.